Welcome to my channel. My name is Kinga and I started making YouTube videos to document for myself and my friends how I'm reinventing myself and my life after divorce. Feel free to like this video. Even if you're not a friend, you can also subscribe to my channel and you can click on the bell sign to get notification every time I release a new video. In this particular video, I want to tell you what I learned about people who run from love, from relationships, why they do it, why some will want to return, why they leave again, what it causes in the other, and how to stop it. When I talk about runners in relationships, I talk about people who at some point, sometimes totally unexpectedly to their partners, just break up with the other. Like there's no discussion with the partner, no therapy or hey, let's fix this. No, they just send a text, I'm done. Or they erupt in a conversation saying, I don't want this anymore, and they are out. They run or they walk away, and it's a recurring pattern in their romantic relationships. But they may have different reasons behind what triggers or gets them to that point. So let's understand better what is behind running or walking away. And please note that I'm not talking about people who are in an abusive relationship or they got cheated on or, something unforgivable was done to them to which they decided to step away. I'm talking about people who made their decision suddenly and alone to leave. It was not a result of the couple having a conversation in a calm manner and after recognizing, that they may be incompatible. It was one person's sudden decision based on their negative feelings. Some may have a fear of losing themselves in the relationship or becoming vulnerable and having to open up to the other person. Some could leave when they feel like things are moving too fast, and some are simply scared of commitment. These people will end their relationships abruptly, even if their inner process leading up to the decision has been long, and in most cases, it will still be a shock and a surprise to the partner. And these runners will leave and never look back. And there are the other kind of runners who I call the returning runners, who will run for whatever reason, but they will feel a void in their heart after the storm is over and they will want to restart or continue the relationship or reconnect in some way. This is my specialty. I've done that many times and I have also been on the receiving end. The returning runners react by leaving when they suddenly feel negative emotions. They choose to walk away or run when they feel attacked, criticized, mistreated, disrespected, unheard, unseen, abandoned, rejected, or any other negative emotions, but this is not how they always feel in the relationship. When they are more centered, happy, and calm, they claim that the relationship they are in is actually working for them. It's great. They may claim that their partner is actually truly the one, but then again, when something happens and that pushes them out of this happy feeling state, they become defensive. They say that they deserve or want something better or more, and they feel truly convinced about this at the time, and they leave the whole relationship with or without a note. It surprises their partner because it is an unexpected and a sudden reaction, and because they do not show willingness to discuss the situation. They can hardly hear what their partner says at the moment, and all they know is that they just want out. And if the runner is very smart or has been to a lot of therapy, they will especially be good at justifying it for themselves and the other, why this is not working and why it's best to leave. But it is still a reaction to a sudden change in their feelings and thoughts. And even though at first they will feel a relief, they normally regret it after they calm down or distance themselves from the situation and the other person. And if they are lucky, they were in a relationship with someone who is understanding and love them enough to take them back after. Because most of them will want to go back. They will want to reconnect. Some of them would probably never admit it because they are scared to be rejected or they just have too much pride. And some are truly done for good. But the key component here is understanding that it is a reaction to their feelings. It is not something that they thought over with time. Their decision is not the result of a long conversation with the other or themselves. It is not something that they discussed with their partners in a calm manner. No, this is just a sudden defensive reaction. So what is going on behind the scenes in the runner's head and heart? What is this causing in the partner, especially if it's a recurring pattern, for a returning runner? And what would be the solution to end such a behavior in a person? I wanted to bring up and talk about this topic, especially because I am a runner, a returning runner to be more precise, and I never had to really look into this deeper until I dated another runner. In my previous relationships, my running didn't have any consequences because they loved me enough to take me back every time, and they understood that I'm a very sensitive person and I can choose to run when feeling very intense negative emotions. There were so many different reasons why I had left. Like I had left when I felt abandoned, rejected, disrespected, humiliated. But basically, in most cases, I had to realize after I distanced myself and I calmed down that the situation itself may have not been that serious, but the emotions I felt were so intense that I overreacted. So, I kind of dated this returning runner for a short time, which was a gift because it allowed me to be on the other side and understand the damage this is causing in the partner. It leaves a scar every time. No matter how sorry they feel after and how they try to make up for it, it leaves a scar. Their words, when they are being loving and affectionate towards you, slowly lose their power. Their I love yous do not mean the same thing anymore. And the trust is broken. And if they walk away too often, it just completely shuts down your emotion. Your heart will just, shrink and become very timid and less open. And you feel a bit like kind of empty and numb. The good thing about it is after a while, you don't even feel heartbroken. You just feel fed up and relieved that the person left because it's been too much. And this time you know that there's no chance you want to reconnect. You're so done. Your desire to be with this person has simply vanished. So this is a dangerous game to play with someone you truly like. So if you're a runner like me, but you never dated another runner, so you have probably no idea how it feels to be on the receiving end, trust me on this, you want to stop being a runner yourself. Not just to avoid hurting others, but also for your own benefit. Because the problem with ending a relationship in the hope for, the next one, it's going to be better, the problem with that is you are taking yourself with you to the next relationship too. So if you find yourself with a recurring pattern and thinking that your relationships are not working because there's something wrong with all the men or women out there that you're trying to date, stop for a second and try to look at what you are bringing to the table, because there may be some issues that you gotta fix instead of repeating and blaming others. When my desire to end this attitude of mine became very strong, I decided to look more deep into it and understand what causes this behavior pattern. And through listening to lots of Abraham Hicks talks, which kind of simplifies and guides my life right now, I understood that the reason you feel a certain way about someone is not about who they are. It is about your relationship with your inner being. People can still influence your feelings. For example, if the other person is in sync with their inner being, their source energy, they will uplift you because they have this happiness, this contagious, positive vibe about them, and they make it easier for you to tune into your inner being. But in the foundation, at the very core of it, it should be about your connection to yourself. Never let it depend on others because that's weak. The newness of a new relationship can be distracting in a way that you have less info on the other person, less conditions to focus on. So in the beginning, when you meet and let's say you both are in alignment with yourself, you will only feel excitement and love and positive vibrations. And that's how it should be. But after a while, it's kind of easy to slip away. But you should never hold anyone responsible for your feelings and who you are being at the moment. You are responsible for your own emotions, even when you think that your emotions are a reaction to what the other person said or did. It should never depend on that. I actually made a video on this called My Emotions Are My Responsibility, and I'm going to put the link in the description section below, so please go and check it out. I will also link it at the very end of this video. Basically, if you are truly in alignment with your inner being, with your true desire, you will not see the fault in the other person. You will not get triggered or feel negative emotions based on what they did or said. If you do, that's your own fault, your own responsibility. And you should learn to stay aware of your emotions because your emotions are your true indicators of how far or close you are to what your inner being truly thinks or feels about the situation that you're in. Negative emotions mean that your inner being doesn't agree with you. It means that you are you're basically wrong. It means that you are seeing something or looking at something in a very different way, very differently to how your inner being is looking at it. And that's why it feels off. That's why yourself, your connection to who you are and your relationship with your inner being should be your number one priority in every relationship, not the relationship with the other person. If you are in sync with yourself, only then have you something to give to the other. Only then can you be conducive to the relationship, and only then can you be truly loving. So never let your feelings or your alignment depend on outside conditions and the behavior of others. That's flawed. So here is what happens to runners in a relationship. They start observing, comparing, analyzing what their partner is doing or saying, and they just simply get disconnected from their inner being. They lose their inner peace and harmony, basically. And in that negative feeling state, they feel this strong emotion, this intense discord and resistance in themselves, which they want to get rid of. But they think it's the other person or the relationship that they need to or want to get rid of. So they say, I'm done with you. They actually initiate a breakup as a reaction to their intense negative emotions. The runner makes the decision alone in a negative feeling state, like frustration, worry, fear, anger, like whatever. And in their intense emotions, they forget everything they said or promised to their partners prior. They forget that they used to feel that this partner was actually the one and only. They forget that their relationship was actually really good. And they just burn down, all the bridges behind them. Meaning that they cut communication, they delete the other person, they block them on social media, on WhatsApp, whatever. And they probably delete the photos in anger too. It's all reactionary. It can actually look childish to a calm person who's observing it from the outside. And the runner will normally feel relief after such an incident. They may sleep better too. And they are totally convinced that what they did was best. They will feel like that for maybe a day or two or a week, whatever. But when the clouds are gone and the sky is bright, they start missing the person. They start thinking if maybe their action or reaction was truly the best decision. They may regret it and they think that they could have done better, or they may recognize that they overreacted. Truth is, the runner is not running away from the partner or the relationship. They are running away from the negative emotions they are experiencing. Because these people are normally more sensitive, more in tune with their feelings than others. They normally experience emotions, negative or positive, in a more intense way. And they react quickly. They have difficulty staying aware, distancing themselves from the situation and looking at it with a clear head. They are too submerged in their emotions and they react instantly. And when they feel relief after, it's because they managed to let the resistance go. The resistance they had inside, the frustration. And that, of course, feels wonderful and light. But it's not wonderful and light because they got rid of that person or the relationship. That's why they long for the same relationship after they calm down and feel centered again. Because their inner being was pro-relationship all the way. They just got disconnected from their inner being for some time, and that is what caused the negative feelings, not their partner. So the solution is learning to stay aware, learning how to observe and interpret your own emotions, understanding that positive emotions mean being in alignment, negative emotions mean being out of alignment, and when the misalignment happens, your most important number one task should be to disengage yourself from the situation. Take some time off, get back into alignment, and then come back to the relationship. Take an active part in your life and emotions. Don't be a passive observer who gives the power away to others, over your own emotions. You are a creator, not an observer. And your emotions are your responsibility. Honestly, guys, go and watch that video that I made. I'm going to link it in the description and also at the end of this video. I believe it will be very helpful. And if you happen to date a runner, then know that it can be draining, okay? Make sure at least that you're dating a runner who is aware of this pattern, acknowledges it, so they will be able to calm down, talk about it, apologize, and there's hope that they can get rid of this by learning to stay more aware of their emotions. If you're dating a runner who's in denial and justifies their actions, and they don't see the pattern, just run. Honestly, leave. If you like this video, give it a like and feel free to subscribe to my channel. Click the bell sign as well, just to, get notified every time I publish a new video. Hope to keep in touch. Take care. Bye. If you want a more intimate content and daily communication, please go and join my Facebook group called Kinga, Kremer and Friends.